Welcome to Asian Business Vlog! Today we're gonna talk about fossils and rocks. It's very interesting. There's many rock layers and many types of fossils. Do you want to know it, yeah? Let's go! Wow! What is this stone? Where am I? Is it Mesozoic Era? But it's raining. Wait, the dinosaur stone! I have to hide first.
The Mesozoic Era, otherwise known as the Age of Reptiles and Conifers, lasted for almost 180 million years from the time period of 252 to 66 million years ago. Mesozoic means middle animals. The Mesozoic Era in the Phanerozoic Eon. This era included some of the most well-known periods: Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods.
Mass extinctions marked the beginning and the end of this era. The Mesozoic began after the Great Dying. It wiped out most of the marine animals. The Permian-Triassic boundary marks the beginning. It interpreted relative to a specific area of sediments in Malaysian China, where a kind of eel-like creature has extinct, better known as conodonts, was first discovered according to the International Commission on Stratigraphy. The Cretaceous Paleocene boundary marks the end of the Mesozoic era. The strata that mark the boundary has traces of iridium and well-preserved fossils.
What kind of animals lived? In the Mesozoic era, also known as the Middle Life, was roamed by giant reptiles known as dinosaurs. Many kinds of dinosaurs lived in the Mesozoic era. On land, dinosaurs were the dominant animals. In water, large marine reptiles lived, and Pterosaurs ruled the sky. During this time, many forms of plants, invertebrates, and fishes evolved.
Our planet, known as the Earth, was very different back then. The climate was warmer, the seasons were timid, the continents were jammed together, but would separate in the middle of the Mesozoic era. This event is known today as Pangea.
What happened during the Mesozoic era? During the middle of the Jurassic period, mammals diversified into animals that are similar to flying squirrel and beavers. A new group of theropods started developing feathers, but they weren't really good at flying. In the late Jurassic, it was considered as the Golden Age because obvious forms of life were all over the planet.
As continents started drifting further apart, dinosaurs became more distinct and isolated from one another. Huge volcano eruptions started happening which affected the air and ocean. Animals started dying off due to the sudden change in the environment which led other carnivorous animals to not have enough food resource to sustain themselves. 75% of the world's species were extinct. This event is now known as decay to PG extinction. At that time, the dinosaurs were the strongest animals alive, but for some reason, they all just disappeared.
This sparked many questions and theories, but one of the most popular theories is that a large asteroid crashed onto Earth and killed all the dinosaurs. This theory is supported by some facts. Geologists have found a rock layer called the KT boundary or the Cretaceous Tertiary boundary, and this boundary has much iridium to it, and the iridium is rare on Earth but common in asteroids.
This mass extinction draws an end to the Mesozoic era, and is soon after followed by the era that we are currently in, the Cenozoic era.